How's it going, everybody? I hope you're having a good day. Well, today is the last day we're going to have for a while. It's not going to be scorcher, so I'm going to be out here pulling some weeds, cutting some grass in a bit. But before I do, I wanted to take some time and talk a little bit about grace. I've had a lot of conversations over the last several years about prayer. What to pray for, how to pray, why do we pray? And one of the things that my wife mentioned that she learned is that if you pray for tolerance, God or Spirit, your higher power, is going to send you things that you're going to have to tolerate. A teacher of mine and I were talking about it. And he said that one of the things that he learned is the only prayers that work are for strength and courage. Maybe we should pray for that. And so I said to him, so basically what you're telling me is, give me something that's really heavy that scares the shit out of me. And he said, yep, that's about right. Recently, I hit on something. Now, I'm not here to tell you how to pray or even just to pray. That's a personal thing. But the thing that really cleared a lot of this up for me is the idea of praying for grace. Grace doesn't try to control an outcome. Grace doesn't try and control a result to force life to be a certain way or to ask for life to be a certain way. Praying for grace means, at least to me, the idea of being to accept whatever comes along with grace. And grace can be tested in the times of abundance, in the times when our life is going really, really well. It can come in the form of humility in the face of these things. Because one of the things that's easy when life is going really well is arrogance. It's really easy to think, oh, I got this. And one of the things that we joke about in ceremony is if somebody is standing in our circle and they say, oh, I got this, or, oh, this is really easy, we all kind of back away because we know that the lightning bolt is coming. Grace can also come in the form of acceptance during difficult times, those times that are particularly crushing, maybe when we or a loved one are faced with a diagnosis or difficulties of some other kind. You know, we never know the end result of our prayer. All we know is that we are where the stone hits the pond. And whatever moves out into the world through us is not ours to control. We never see that result. And so, for example, I deal with quite a few people who've experienced a lot of difficulty. And over the last few years, I've dealt with some people who've lived through some really, really hard times. And I don't claim their successes. That's not why I'm here to talk about this. My job was to hold space and to make sure I was clean enough to be able to do that no matter what was needed. And in that space and in the support I was able to provide for them, and Creator was able to provide for them through me, some of those people have gone on to do some really wonderful things and to find some healing in their lives that's just been a joy to watch. And then they're able to move out into the world in a healthier way and to address the people that they come in contact with and the situations that they walk through in a more graceful way. And so I guess what I'm getting at is one little gesture can be the pebble that starts the avalanche. Even something as simple as holding the door for someone or a smile talking to someone in a respectful way. You know, we might be the only gracious human contact that someone has had in potentially years. And our kindness might be a reminder for them that there's something larger than themselves that loves them. And if that's the case, then perhaps they can move out into the world and treat somebody else that way too. And it can just keep going. We never know. And so I guess that's what I'm really trying to get at here, is that the idea of being able to accept whatever is given to us, the difficulties, the times of joy, the times of abundance, to be able to accept those graciously, and even to give ourselves a little grace when we're not able to do that. Just that little bit of grace, that little bit of acceptance can go a really, really long way. Till next time.